short week, traveling east to west, cross country, holiday week, all the different demands on their time. The 49ers are rolling right now.
They're rolling.
Playing great football.
Who needs this one more, though, Larry?
Washington needs it
Who
more.
has to win to get in?
Washington.
Are they? If they lose, they're out?
No.
But this is a pretty big game, right?
This is a big game for them. I would say they are the hungrier team here. They're the ones that need this one a little bit more than the 49ers. But the Niners are playing great ball, and their mindset is just keep winning. And why don't we get right into last week, Lo? I mean, what did you take away from the Seattle win? I mean, they clinched the division. They own the division this year. Brock Purdy won on the road. He looked really good doing it. I think he completed his first 11 passes. He had a tremendous night. 49ers, as Trent Williams said, get the T-shirt and the hat. The reason to me last week was even more impressive than I thought when I watched it is that Brock did not throw a single pass all week. He didn't throw a single pass supposedly leading into the warm-ups. He did not throw a pass. He was under tremendous pain, and he played that game. He played an incredible game for his first game on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, if you really think about what Seattle is, what it represents, and then this kid on the road, I'm absolutely floored by the way he played.
No, you should be. Going on the road, not throwing the ball all week, actually for the first test, playing a game on the road because he's been at home, comfortable, played against Tampa Bay at home. The week before, you come in, you play at home, and now the first road test, and it's in Seattle, where the 12th man, and they were in a situation where they needed that game even more than the Niners. And Brock was pretty amazing. Purdy was good, and it was just great to see him play efficient like he has been. Stayed in the pocket, stayed within himself, not a lot of mistakes, threw the ball where it needed to go. I thought he played well. And it was a good win.
The story is Purdy. I mean, Kyle Shanahan said that Brock is the most poised rookie he's ever seen. Bill Romanowski went on the Zach Gelb show. You know Romo well. He says he's got some Joe Montana in him. His kid's got crazy confidence. He's calm. The moment isn't too big for him. He's executing. He's smart. I think he's their franchise quarterback. Then I see a franchise quarterback of the 49ers for the next, call it 15 to 20 years. That's Romo. Romo's a pretty smart football guy. Romo played with Joe Montana. He wouldn't just say that. That's an amazing thing. Forget Mr. Irrelevant 7th-round pick. It's just an amazing thing for a rookie quarterback to be compared to Joe. That's how good Purdy's been.
I just think the vote of confidence. I think Bill Romanowski's a great guy, great person, great friend. Talk to Bill. I'm not in the same church, and I do believe that this young man, everything that he said, but when he says the next 15 years, I don't know if Bill is, right now saying something that's just like, hey, look, give this guy some flowers. Give him an attaboy. This is coming from Bill Romanowski, and maybe Bill is just, hey, look, I want this guy to know that I got his back. And that may be more. So I think it's a little more to that. I don't know if you can say, hey, look, I haven't seen with this defense, the defense you have, and the way the 49ers is built, he hasn't had a double digit to come back from behind. All he's done is done the things that he needs to do that's in front of him. So let's not discredit anything the young man has done, because I like the young man. And I do believe that this guy is a good quarterback. I can't say he's a great quarterback. I can't say that he's the future after 3 games. I can say as long as this defense is intact and as long as this defense is playing the way it's playing, you don't have to be a great quarterback. You have to just do your job. Play within yourself, make the throws you need to make, don't turn the ball over, and let this defense cook. So it's too hard for me to sit and say, you want to crown him king, best of all time? I can't do that.
You want to crown him?
Crown him. I can't call him Joe Montana right now. No, but I can say the guy's been efficient. Everything that Bill said in that, in that synopsis about how calm he is, great with the delivery, command of the huddle, all those things. But I can't just crown him quarterback the next 20 years yet.
What do you need?
I need a more body of work, but also.
How many games?
Or
is it about playoff games?
For me, it's not necessarily plus. It's to see what he does when this team's not in front. It's to see what he does when he's called upon to come down by 14. It's to see how. Now, I've seen him handle the pressure. I've seen him go and get hit right in the mouth and come back and throw a strike. I've seen the things, and I've seen enough to know that this guy can play on this level. I'm not doubting that. I'm saying, how good is he if they get in a shootout? How good is he if this team has an average defense? If this defense is going to give up 24 points a game? If this defense gives up 24, if it's a middle of a pack defense, how good is he then? Can he take over a game if he's down by 4? That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, yes, with a good defense, the defense that the 49ers have, listen, Baker Mayfield could win in this offense. Baker Mayfield, people talked about bringing him in because he can scramble, he can move the pocket. He could win in this offense. You don't think Geno could play well in this offense? There is a bunch of quarterbacks that could play well in this offense because Kyle Shanahan's offense is quarterback friendly. It's simple. It's a read offense. You know where you're supposed to go with the ball. Now, I'm not throwing dirt on the shade on the young kid.
Why? Yeah. Why you got to run the kid? Why are you running him down like that?
Am I? Because I don't want to see.
No, I hear you.
You've been a scout.
It's a quarterback-friendly system.
Yeah.
And he's operating it very, very well.
Yes.
Here's what Shanahan. This is an interesting quote. Listen to this quote from Kyle on Purdy. He says, "My confidence in Brock just allows me to call what I think is right. You trust him to make the right play, and so you call things that you think are right at the time." That's what you want from your NFL head coach. You want him to be calling. You don't want him to have to call things because, well, I don't know if the quarterback can execute that. What happens if he can't? Maybe I'm
read that again, though. But listen what he's saying.
He says, "My confidence in Brock just allows me to call what I think is right."
Right?
You trust him to make the right play. And so you call things that you think are right at the time.
Absolutely.
So he's not, in other words, he's not worried about the quarterback and what the quarterback can execute. He's just going to call what he thinks is the right play for the right situation. Here's what I'm seeing with the 49ers, and this is the bottom line. 49ers are averaging 29.7 points per game with Brock Purdy under center. That's the sixth most in the league over that span. Now, you pointed to the defense. The Niners have given up the fewest points per game in the NFL. They're giving up 15 a game, and since Brock came under center, they're scoring nearly 30 a game. That sounds like blowout victories. That sounds like double-digit victories.
And it has been.
And that's what we've seen. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think we're going to see another double-digit victory today for Brock Purdy. And by the way, what's Mr. Irrelevant actually doing as far as his individual stats? 69% is what he's completed so far. 58 of 84 for 612 yards, 3 touchdowns, only the 1 pick. He's got a QBR of 67.9. So if he had enough attempts to qualify, that would rank him 5th in the NFL in QBR behind Mahomes, Tua, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. That's not bad company at all for Brock Purdy. All right, let's get into – we got a lot to get to here, though.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to talk Pro Bowlers. I got an interview that I sat down with Nick Sakel. He's Brock's roommate. We'll play that in a little bit. JD's going to join us at noon from Levi Stadium. We'll go boots on the ground with JD, and we'll get into the keys to victory in our final segment. But I want to get into – I have 4 big questions, and I was I hate to say this. I was putting this together this morning. Looking at exactly what all the factors in this game. Okay, here's my 4 questions. These are the 4 questions of the day for the Niners as I see it.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think. Question number 1. Can the Niner DBs hold up in pass coverage against Washington's receivers? Washington has 3 receivers in Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, as they call him.
Terry.
Jahan Dotson, the rookie out of Penn State, goes about 5'9", but incredible ball skills. And then Curtis Samuel's got size and speed and has been in this league for years. They got 3 fast receivers, all 3 with ball skills. Can the Niners' pass coverage stand up down the field? Heineke the last month has taken shots down the field. This is the first trio of receivers the Niners have gone up against that have the combination of speed and ball skills. They've gone up with guys with speed but not ball skills. These guys can all catch it, and they all can separate. So, to me, that's question number 1. Give me your quick thought on that. 49. To me, it's a lot also about can the Niners pressure up front, but can the Niners cover McLaurin, Dotson, and Samuel?
I think the question is, I think they can cover, but I think that Daniels, some of these guys, they're going to get theirs too. They're going to have some success. I think when you look at the Commanders and think about what they're doing as an organization, I think that the Niners can hold up. I think, okay, you got to say, okay, it's a turnover. There's a lot more things to go with just holding up. Can I bend but not break? Am I going to be able to cover and not give up the big plays? That's what the Niners got to do. But this is going to be, to me, this is going to be the most physical team they played probably since Atlanta Falcons. I think this is the most physical game they're going to play thus far this whole year.
Yeah.
I think when the New Orleans Saints was a physical game, I think this game can be more physical than that game.
Well, and Washington's got a lot, very similar to the Niners. They've got an imposing defensive line, and it's going to be a major theme today for sure. Now, the other question number 2 I have is, can Brock Purdy, if Washington, because I think Washington's defensive front's really stout. You got Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne.
Right.
They're not just big guys in the middle, they're athletic. But then you got Chase Young coming back. He's been gone most of the year with the knee injury. And you got Montez Sweat.
Right.
You got Trent Williams and Mike McGlinchey trying to stand up to Montez Sweat, who's 6'5", 250, long arms, very fast, very athletic.
Right.
And Chase Young is even more of a blue chipper than Montez Sweat, and he's coming back and he's had one of the greatest games he's ever had in his career. He had against the 49ers. So what if Washington can take away the Niner run game today and make the 49ers more one-dimensional and take away the play action from Brock Purdy? Can Brock Purdy still have success throwing it down the field and moving this offense down the field and scoring points if the run game isn't there today? Because this is the kind of defense that might be able to take away the run game.
If Brock Purdy if Brock can't get to the edge and can't boot and move the pocket at times, no, I don't think that they win this game. If Brock can run the ball, if they can have just run the ball, okay, and still give the illusion, because now I can move the pocket. If you say he's going to have to beat you from the pocket all day and shut down the run, I don't think the Niners can, because I think those guys are tall up front. I think you'll see some batted balls. I don't think that the tackle can hold up against their edge. They're going to have to keep a guy in. It's going to be interesting. This is, to me, if he can do that, if you can shut down the run today and he can beat you in by air and they shut down the run and Brock can beat you in air and Purdy can beat you in the air today with no run game, I'll be willing to get off. I'll come over to your church and say, hey, maybe this guy is going to be the guy for the next 20 years. If he has to throw the ball 40 or 50 times today and they don't get over and they keep them under 80 yards and the Niners win without the defense, getting a pick six, and they just have to, this is just a quarterback, I'll change.
Brock, if you're in the locker room right now and you're listening to Neal, if he's got 95.7 the game on, like the guy at the gas station did the other day, the guy at the gas station, door opens, guru, just blaring. It was awesome. Right? It was awesome to hear. Yeah. But if Brock's listening right now to the 95.7 the game pregame, you can win over Low Neal today.
I love the guy, though. But you got to realize, when he took over, we said, look at the guy. I said, you to ask me, what was I impressed most with? I said, his decision-making.
Beat the Dolphins coming off the bench. They sent all kinds of exotics at him.
And he knew where to go. Yes, and he knew where to go with the ball. And then Tampa, he got hit off the first play, on a blitz.
Neal,
he got crushed, came back and delivered.
Yeah.
And then he went to Seattle off of not throwing the ball all week. So I get the guy's smart and savvy. But if you're asking me, if the Niners' run game is taken away today and they can't move the pocket, meaning they contain him and make him throw from the pocket, he's got to do it 40 to 50 times, and the defense isn't just getting touchdowns, I don't think that they can win.
And he wins that kind of a game, that's going to win you over.
That's going to win me over. I already like him.
I hear you. But you're saying it's a big test.
It's going to be a huge test.
Yeah, this is the best defense that Brock Purdy has faced. There's just no doubt about it. This is the Niner offensive line. We're going to find out exactly how good they are and how ready they are for prime time.
That's it.
And you know what? This will be a great test, because at some point to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC, you're going to have to go through the Philadelphia Eagles. What do they have? They got Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox. They got a big-time defensive front. They added Robert Quinn. So you got to be able to block that front four. The Niners are going to get a real taste of a primetime front four. Can they block it today in the run game? And if they can't, can Purdy still make plays in the pass game? All right, that's question 2. Question 3, the Niner O-line. Trent Williams and Mike McGlinchey. I think McGlinchey at times has really struggled, and now you get Montez Sweat and Chase Young, and those guys are elite. And Payne is a monster, and Jonathan Allen at times can be the best guy on this line, and they can get it done with just their front four, and they've got, those are 4 blue chippers. To me, huge test.
Huge.
It's interesting, too, because
Huge test.
John Lynch and Martin Mayhew were together in Tampa.
Right.
They kind of see football the same way. John built this incredible D-line here, and Martin Mayhew's now went from Detroit into Washington, and he's now built this incredible D-line in Washington. All right, that's question 3.
Your question 3. Let me jump on your question 3. Your question 3, to me, summarizes the whole football game.
That's the game.
That is the game. Because
can the Niner O-line stand up to this Washington defensive front?
And I don't think they can consistently. I'm just telling you and here's the deal. I think Trent, you know who Trent is, but McGlinchey, he struggled at times. And now if you can put a guy over that, so look for him to say, okay, whatever side we're going to put Sweat to, we want him one-on-one with McGlinchey. And how do we do that? Put a guy over the center. Put a guy over the guard. Now you can't turn protection because now you're going to put a hat on a hat. And now you walk up the outside backer to say, okay, now I'm going to now you're going to have to make a decision. I'm a green dog and now one-on-one blocks. I guarantee you this. You know the guy, Del Rio, he's going to create some one-on-one matchups for McGlinchey. And I'm telling you, and it's going to be on obvious third down passes. It's going to be on pass situations, and he's going to have to play big. That is going to be key today. Can the offensive line handle? Because you're going to get beaten at various places. It's not just one guy.
Right.
You got a whole off the defensive line. So, yes, I want to see how Purdy handles it today. That's what I'm here for. I got to see it, Coach.
Yep.
I got to see it. Hallelujah.
There's 4 game wreckers on this defensive front. Huge, huge test for the Niner offensive line. All right, that's question number 3. Question number 4. Can the 49er defense stop this Washington running back, Brian Robinson? Robinson, believe it or not, was shot earlier this year. Literally shot.
Yeah, by some 2 little kids, a bunch of kids. So horrible.
And the bullet went through his leg, and he's a running back. I love this kid in the draft process coming out. He's about 230 out of Bama. And, it's funny. Bama's got so many backs that it's a great place to go if you're a running back. Why? Because there's so many guys there that you're never going to be overrun. So you're never going to pile up too much mileage at Bama, right?
No.
Brian Robinson did not pile up a lot of mileage at Bama. But then you look at him, 225, 230 pounds, fast. Last week, low 7.1 yards a pop against the G-men. So, to me, gang tackling Brian Robinson. Can the Niners? This is the Washington
balance.
The Washington Commanders. This, by the way, last 3 times the Niners have played the Washington. They've had 3 different names.
Right.
Commanders, the team, and then before that, the Redskins.
Right. Too much.
This guy is a monster, and he runs hard. So, this to me
is this the most balanced attack they're going to see?
This is the team that leads the NFL in time of possession, Washington. So it's a lot about getting off the field and not allowing this big back to just start running downhill on you because he'll carry you. They'll push the pile. I saw him push the pile last week against the G-men, like 12 yards on a first quarter run where he's just keeping his feet and he's just bulldozing and the linemen are pushing him from behind and it looks like a rugby scrum.
Right.
To me, that's a big one today. The Niners have been great against the run. They've got, I think, the best linebackers going. But Brian Robinson is a really underrated back, and he's got a little bit more speed than you think, and he's got a lot more power than you think, and he's rumbling and healthy right now. And they also have Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
So this is a team, when you look at Taylor Heineke, he's not going to win the game by himself.
No. But he's not built that way.
But they lead the league in time of possession. And they got a big-time defensive line. So it should be a huge challenge today.
It will. And for me, the key, when you talk about up front and what the defensive line's going to have to do, for me, they're going to have to play pad level. Because you're going to have opportunities, boom. You're going to be on a guys in. Are you going to be able to drop your hips and get low? Because if you rise up and you're trying to make a tackle and you rise up, like you said, those offensive line, they're going to maul you and keep jumping on you. And then the back's going to keep moving the pal. That's when these guys have to do is say, look, I got to hit, I got to drop my hips, and I'm going to have to make a pal. And they usually make that on the ground. Guys can't be afraid today to get on the ground. I hope the defensive front and the defense DC has said, hey, guys, when you wrap up, go to the ground. Because we want to stop and move the leg. Because if you stay up and you're trying to wrap up, guys are going to come push. Get on the ground, make a pal. I'm telling you, that could be big too.
All right, we got a lot to get to. We got our stat of the year from the Niners.
Can't wait.
That you're just going to absolutely love. It's a defining stat for the 49ers. We'll give it to you in the next segment. We'll get into the Pro Bowl as well. The Pro Bowl announcements were this week. Niners had 13 Pro Bowlers when you look at starters and alternates together. We'll look at some scores from around Week 16. I caught up with Nick Zakelj, the Niner offensive lineman who's Brock Purdy's roommate, had a very fun conversation with Zakelj in the Niner locker room. We'll let you hear some of that in the next segment. But before we break here, give me your thought on Javon Kinlaw. He's back today. He was practicing this week. Man, Lo, this is a guy, and I wouldn't say this about too many guys, this is a guy that if he can stay healthy and have a monstrous finish to his year, he can literally carry this team to the Super Bowl. He's that pivotal in the middle. When he's wrecking shop, this guy's the total package. Monster against the run, clogs the middle, absorbs offensive linemen, allows Warner and Greenlaw to just run free and easy. And when he's healthy and fresh like he is right now, he is also a wrecker as a pass rusher like we saw in the preseason. To me, if Kinlaw fires back, and there's one other guy that they opened their practice window for, his name's Kalia Davis. He's a rookie who was a late-round pick, day 3 pick. This kid, Lo, is fast. I mean, like Warren Sapp fast, like incredibly fast. Like, I'll be very interested to see if they activate Kalia Davis either today or sometime in the next 3 weeks. I believe Kinlaw is going to be up today. These two defensive tackles, I was at practice the other day, they have the kind of talent that if you can add a healthy Kinlaw and Kalia Davis as an interior rusher to what they already have inside.
Oh, boy.
This defense is going to get better, and it may be enough to carry him past Philly and into the bowl.
I'm with you. For me, Kinlaw, number one, pitch count. I think this defensive staff's got to say, no matter what, we got to limit this guy to 25
snaps.
Limit his snaps. Keep him to a pitch count because, like you said, he's too vital. He's too strong. He's a run gap stop guy. He can plug up the middle. He can beat you with one arm. He can swim guys. He's the closest thing to Jumpy gathers. You remember Big Jumpy. He's strong, got that forklift. This guy's big. He's strong. You watch him hump guys. He's really a powerful guy, and he's great with his hands. He's strong, can move guys. I like Kinlaw, what he brings to the table. Yes, put him on a pinch count. Put him on a pitch count. Limited amount of times because you want him there. And next month, when the playoffs, you want to keep Kinlaw healthy. So I agree with you. If he can stay healthy and you limit him, I think, man, this 49er defense, they're good enough up front.
All right, it's the Kickoff Show. We're here at the Santa Clara Hilton. Beautiful day for football. It is freezing around the country. It is perfect here in Northern California for 49er football. And today it's the Niners and the Commanders. Up next, we'll talk about the Pro Bowlers. Some incredible Pro Bowl stories for the 49ers, but 2 ridiculous snubs. We'll get into that. We'll also look at some scores from around the morning action. Bunch of games, I believe 8 games in the morning slate, and we'll review those scores coming up next as we're here on 95.7 The Game.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
Uncle, Kate's gonna leave me, and I need your advice.
What's the problem, John?
She thinks I'm cheating on her, but I'm not. It's just that I have ED now, and I don't know why.
Don't worry. The same thing happened to me. All men lose testosterone with age, and this can cause ED. I went to Balanced Medical Solutions, and they helped me rebalance my hormones. Now your aunt is happy again, and I lost weight, too.
Thank you. I'm gonna call them today.
Guys, stop suffering. Call Balanced Medical Solutions now at 510-679-3300 or visit balancedmedicalsolutions.com.
'Twas almost the holidays and all over the state, not a creature was stirring, except for, well, Nate. He was panicked in need of a really good good gift. Nate's a procrastinator, if you catch my drift. So off he dashed to the closest store, and there found holiday scratchers galore. Now Nate won't get a lump of coal, unless he burns the holiday casserole. Yes, scratchers from the California Lottery are great, especially for Mr. Procrastinate. So when it's time to get your gift shopping out of the way, try scratchers. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase player claim.
Hi, I'm your unused PTO. It's almost the end of the year, and if you don't put me on a timesheet, I will be gone forever. Use me or lose me. Let's get away.
It's getaway time. Get our best deals of the season on a new Hyundai. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now get 0% APR, 0 payments for 90 days, and $500 bonus cash on select vehicles. Hurry to your local Hyundai dealer now during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offer ends 1/3/23. Call 1-562-314-4603 for complete offer details.
At Target, make the holidays a breeze with same-day pickup and delivery. Order today and get it today by choosing free drive-up, free order pickup, or same-day delivery when you order on Target.com or through the Target app. This season, get festive faster and holiday the easy way with Target's same-day pickup and delivery. Choose free drive-up, free order pickup, or same-day delivery on everything you need for the holidays. Only at Target.
ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner are coming to Shoreline Amphitheater August 10th, and 95.7 The Game has your tickets for your shot to win and get in the running for the grand prize 2023 Shoreline Lawn Pass. Head to 957thegame.com.
At Harris Ranch, we do beef, just like we've done for over 50 years. Beef that's raised locally right here in California. The flavor you crave, the quality you trust time after delicious time. Harris Ranch, we do beef.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum 2022 tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2022.
What's up, San Francisco? If you're a fan of the team, which I'm sure you are, you've been following Christian McCaffrey light up the competition. This season, Christian will be hydrating himself with Body Armor sports drinks. It has potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. In fact, Body Armor has 820 milligrams of electrolytes per 16-ounce serving. Body Armor is the sports drink of choice for Christian McCaffrey. It's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor sports drink. Available at your local Safeway.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Hi, welcome to IKEA and our winter sale. Hi, we've got hundreds of offers on everything from storage solutions to...
I'm sorry, did you say hundreds?
Yes.
I'm still working from home. Anything to help me get organized?
Absolutely. Check out our offers on shelving and desks.
Ooh, what about mattresses?
Yep, those too.
Dressers? Sofas?
Yes, and yes.
I think I need a bigger cart.
Visit us at IKEA-USA.com/offers for details. Offer dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and IKEA-USA.com/offers for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
Now back to the Kickoff Show with Larry Kreuger and Lorenzo Neal on 95.7 The Game. Sponsored by Jim Beam Bourbon Whiskey. Taste the world's #1 bourbon. And by Harris Ranch Beef. Legendary beef, legendary quality.
And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to everybody out there. Larry Kreuger and Neal here across from Levi Stadium at the Santa Clara Hilton. Talking a little 49er football. It's week 16. Niners looking for their 11th win of the year. And the Washington Commanders are in the way. 7-6-1. That's what the Commanders are. Well, before we get into the stat of the defining stat of the year for the 49ers, let's take a look at some of these scores from week 16. It's always interesting to see exactly what's going on. The NFL is just never predictable. Soldier Field, by the way, it's freezing. What do you think about playing in freezing temperatures? Soldier Field today, they're saying was 10 degrees, but it was going to feel like -3.
Yeah, I talked to Matt Hagan. He said it was minus 25 or 30 yesterday. He just said he said I had to get out of here. So I called him this morning. He goes, "I'm home. I'm left Chicago." So I hated it. And he's supposed to be a homeboy from there. Right. What are you doing leaving the weather? Get out of Cali. No, I absolutely. You cannot stand. It's not healthy for you. It feels like every time you hit someone, feel like a bone is breaking. It feels you're freezing, and now you're hitting someone, your bones are like, are we going to hold together today? And it was like, oh, my God. Absolutely hated it, brother.
Frozen, what's worse, frozen turf, frozen grass? Because I've heard, I've heard people describe frozen grass like every blade is like a knife, and you just feel it cutting you as you're sliding on the ground. But is the turf worse or the grass worse?
Well, back in the day, the turf. Give me frozen grass because the grass can give a little bit. But you're talking about frozen turf when it's frozen in the concrete because it used to be bro. It's like, oh my God, what did I just fall upon? No. Give me the grass any day because grass, at least it's still is a little padded a little bit, but you get that turf and it's frozen underneath this concrete. No.
Oh, my God. All right, let's look at some of the scores. Bills and Bears. Bills big favorites in this game. Bears lead the NFL, though, in rushing, and it's 10-6 Bears at the half at Soldier Field. Chicago's lost 7 straight.
They've been around, though. They've hung around. This 7 straight, though.
They battle.
Aren't they due? When you think about the Bears.
And Fields is playing well.
Yes, and they've been in every game. Even when you watch them, even though they find a way to lose, but they're in games. I'm telling you, that club is so close to turning around.
Should be interesting. I think Buffalo's playing today. No Ed Oliver, no Jordan Phillips in the front of that defense, so that's a big one, and it's 10-6 Bears at the half. Browns and Saints, they're saying -13 in Cleveland with high winds against the Saints who play in the Dome, and it's 10-3 Browns at the half over the Saints.
Yeah, this is, New Orleans, it's humid. They don't get that cold weather, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works out.
Chiefs and Seahawks. Chiefs have a 17-3 lead on the Seahawks. Patrick Mahomes has won 15 in a row against the NFC. He dominates the NFC. 10-degree day in KC. Jerick McKinnon has been awesome the last couple of weeks. KC's up 17-3.
Yeah, I watch coming in, just watching a little bit. I'm watching, my little phone and watching the app and watch him catch the ball out of the backfield. Jed McKinnon, man, he's been really big for Kansas City.
Unbelievable.
He's been catching the ball. They call him Norman Swift's knife down there in Kansas City. He's really been a breath of fresh air. Good for you, young man.
Yeah, Chiefs lead the NFL in scoring. Giants and Vikings going today. It's 10-7 Minnesota in Minneapolis over the G-Men. The G-Men clinch a playoff berth with a win. They don't have a Dory Jackson, though. Their big corner against Justin Jefferson today. Vikings, of course, have already clinched the NFC North. Bengals and Patriots in Foxborough. Man, Bill Belichick. 22-0 Joe Burrow and the Bengals beating the Patriots. These are teams going in totally different directions. Since he's 11-1 against the spread in the last 12, they've covered 6 in a row. Patriots are coming off that ugly, embarrassing finish to the Raiders.
I think
there's some bad vibes around the Patriots right now.
No question. I was going to tell you that after that Raider game, you bet against them. After the Raider game, I'm telling you, that game took the air out of their sail. You can't. It's hard to come back. It's hard to overcome that. I'm with you, Larry. It's a bad vibe around there. They're reeling. They're reeling.
Damian Woody, by the way, Lo, described that play last week of who was the receiver that threw it for the Patriots through the backwards pass, the lateral that Chandler Jones took back. Right. He said called the dumbest play he's ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever?
I know. No.
From a Bill Belichick team? The dumbest play ever?
That will hunt Bill Belichick forever.
Jacoby Myers, that's who it was.
When Jacoby threw that ball back, because the running back is still stupid, shouldn't, but he's like, okay, no time on the clock, I'm going to pitch it, maybe he's going to run a touchdown. But for him to run backwards and then throw the ball backwards even more, and here's the thing, you've already fought back. You're getting ready to go to overtime. There's no time on the clock. What the heck are you thinking? For Belichick's team, for that to happen to Belichick, season's over.
Yeah, no, seriously. The Patriots are Tom Petty free falling. They're free falling. Lions, Panthers. Lions are playing incredibly well. In fact, Detroit had won 6 of 7. Jared Goff hadn't thrown an interception in the last 6 games. Detroit had covered 7 in a row, but they're getting drubbed in Charlotte. 24-7 Panthers on top of the Lions.
What do you make of that? Because because I believe that Detroit's a quarterback away from being a playoff team. I think that if they had the right guy at quarterback, they're in the playoffs, and they might even win that. They're that close. To me, Jared Goff, to me, is not the answer. He wasn't the answer in L.A., and you see what's going on now. But what do you think about Carolina? When you think about where they've been, what they did with the trade, and then how these guys are playing for the old ball coach, what do you think just as a unit? Are they in? What do you?
No. I mean, I'm not impressed by Carolina at all. To me, Detroit's the team to watch there between those two. I mean, Carolina's got some interesting talent on the roster. All NFL teams do, but Detroit's the team to watch. I mean, they've got Jamison Williams. You've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think Detroit kind of made a mistake trading the tight end to Minnesota, T.J. Hawkinson. They should have just kept Hawkinson. I mean, if you're really trying, they have incredible weapons. They play hard for Dan Campbell. Aaron Glenn's got that defense much improved. They still need more talent, but Detroit is probably the last team I want to play. The one thing about Detroit that's interesting, the last 3-4 games, they're throwing it all over the yard. I mean, 35-plus attempts the last month or so for Goff. And then the other game going on right now is Falcons-Ravens, and that one is 14-3 Ravens. Ravens have gone 13 straight games where they've outrushed their opponent low. These are the 2 top run games in the NFL. It's J.K. Dobbins, who's very hot for Baltimore, and Tyler Algier, the BYU kid, has been really good over the last month for the Falcons. 2 best running attacks in the game right now, Falcons and Ravens. And right now it's in Baltimore, and Baltimore has not looked good to me in the last couple of weeks, but they're up 14-3.
Yeah, they haven't. You look at them, their quarterback's been hurt, the knee injury. You just watch them, they just don't look great. The offense sputter. They don't score a lot. They're just in slugfest. They just don't really know how to win with consistency. So I don't think that they're a threat. I don't even think they're a threat in the AFC at all. Even if they get in the playoffs, I don't see them making any noise. I think they're one and done because they're so much one-dimensional. So, yeah, Baltimore, kudos because they fight. Kudos because they're well-oiled. They're going to fight. They're just going to win the games they're supposed to win. They're just a good, fundamentally team, but they're not a team that you respect, that you think they can make a big push.
They're not with Kansas City or Buffalo.
No.
And I think Miami's starting to creep past them as well as far as a Super Bowl contender, maybe even Cincinnati for that matter.
Yeah.
There's only 2 games in the afternoon window. It's Niners, Commanders, and then Eagles, Cowboys. Who do you got? Eagles, Cowboys. There's no
Jalen Hurts.
It's Gardner Minshew. Jalen Hurts is out. Philly's defense, number 1 in the NFL as far as sacks. They're number 1 in interceptions. They're number 1 in pass D. Philly clinches the division with a win.
Yeah, the Minshew Magic, right? Everyone loved him when he was, when he had that
mustache.
Team. Yeah, with the stash going. He had Jaguars playing well. So it's a big test for him. I think this kid's going to come out. He's going to want to play well because, hey, look, he's playing for his future. Another team, maybe a backup, maybe even start again. But yeah, I don't think that they can beat Dallas with their backup quarterback. I don't look at Philly winning this game. I think Dallas is a slap in their face last week. Jacksonville, the way that they lost that game, receiver ball hits him right in the hands, drops it, ticks 6, goes the opposite way. Jacksonville's cooking with Crisco. They're probably the hottest team in the AFC. When you look at Jacksonville, Cincinnati, and the Chargers, those are 3 teams that if you told me, hey, Buffalo and Kansas City, or give me the feel. I really believe the AFC is that tough when it comes to the Chargers and of course Jacksonville and Cincinnati. Because Cincinnati, man, they can score with anyone.
Philly doesn't just clinch the division with a win today, by the way. They get home field advantage through the NFC playoffs if they can get a win, but I'm with Lowe. I'll take the Cowboys. Cowboys are scoring 35 a game since Prescott came back from the injury, and they're at home. I think they'll be too much for Philly tonight. Or today, I should say. Tonight, on Christmas Eve, this is stuff I don't remember NFL ever playing on actual Christmas Eve.
Right.
But we get Raiders-Steelers from Heinz Field, wind chill below 0. This is going to be another run game. Najee for Pittsburgh, Josh Jacobs for the Raiders. Franco Harris's number 32 is going to be retired. It's the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. I don't know. What do you see here? I mean, this is interesting. If Pittsburgh loses this game, this is their first losing season under Mike Tomlin and their first since 2003. I like the Steelers. A lot of people think Jacobs is going to go in there and the Raiders are going to rumble. I don't see it, man. With the emotion and Tomlin wanting to not have that loss, not have that losing season, Christmas Eve, I think the Steelers are not losing at home on Christmas Eve when they honor Franco. I don't buy that at all. Give me the Steelers tonight.
You know what? I'm in the same church, same pew. If you said, hey, give me one bet that you wanted to do and take the money line, it's the Steelers. It's the Steelers. You lost a legend and an icon in Franco Harris, one of the great men that I've been able to meet, guy that I respect, and just a great guy.
Really kind
kind, very kind, big heart. So sought off the earth, just a quick, and they were going to retire his jersey, and he was not able to be there. You know the kind of emotions going to be in that stadium, and what people are going to be in Franco in the 12th, and all the his generals and how he was. That Franco, that place is going to be on fire. If you said, hey, what game do you want to go and be with tonight? That game, it could get ugly. And the Steelers
those are not great teams either.
Right, and the Steelers aren't a great team. And the Steelers don't have a lot, and the Raiders have more talent. We know that. But I'm telling you, and they're going to play. The head coach there, Tomlin, is going to have those guys fired up. They're going to come out with emotions. It's going to be playing like 12, 13 guys on the field at all times.
Yeah, I like the Steelers tonight. Jaguars beat the Jets the other night, 19-3. Zach Wilson got pulled.
He's horrible.
Is Zach Wilson done in New York?
He's done. He's done. Put a fork in him. He's done.
I think he's a good player who's just started slow and will bounce back. Do you not think he's a starting NFL quarterback?
I'm not going to say he's not a starting NFL quarterback, but right now I'm going to say he's not a starting quarterback. Right now, if you watch this guy play, he was paused. You watch how hesitant he was of getting rid of the ball. We watched the game. I watched that Jacksonville game, and Larry, he held onto the ball too long. Yeah. He didn't want to get rid of the ball. He had opportunities to run and pick up things with his legs. He didn't do it. He got outside the pocket. He looked horrible. He didn't look confident. Without a doubt, right now, he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. They need to get a quarterback because the Jets, they're arrived. They have a team, and I'm not saying in the future he could probably get back, but right now he's shell-shocked.
Yeah. And then, of course, on Christmas, it has been the NBA's day. And, of course, the Warriors go on Christmas. But the NFL said, hey, let me move aside. Let's get in there, too. And it's Packers-Dolphins tomorrow. Miami's lost 3 in a row. Broncos-Rams, nobody wants to watch that. Denver's yet to win a road game this year. Then it's Bucks-Cardinals, and the Cardinals are starting Trace McSorley. If you're looking to bet against them, I think that might be a good spot. I don't think Trace McSorley making his first career start against Tampa's defense is going to be a good thing. And then Monday night, Chargers-Colts, and the Colts start Nick Foles, who makes his first. Isn't Nick Foles an interesting guy? He's making his first NFL start in 2 seasons. Matt Ryan's been benched. The guy's got a Super Bowl. The guy's won a Super Bowl and didn't just get a Super Bowl. He played great in that Super Bowl. He's got 1 start the last 2 years.
Yeah, that honestly, that was the default.
It's a little bizarre.
It's very bizarre. And here's the thing, Larry. I think when the new head coach, you love the guy Saturday when he took over, I would have said and instantly went with him because you brought in a new coach. You're trying to be an interim. You're trying to change the team. And I went to Matt Ryan and said, hey, Matt, hey, look, I'm not going to do this to you. I'm going in another direction. I'm not even going to try to be your friend. Look, if you want me to try to trade you, whatever you need to do, you want me to release you, I want to respect you because you've been a great guy in this league. And I would have said, look, we're going to ride with you. He waited too long. Matt already lost the team. This move was made too late. And even if this guy's not, I would have did it.
All right, so that's the full breakdown on Week 16. Now, we said we were going to go with our stat of the year.
Yeah, I can't wait.
This is an amazing stat, and I'm digging it up. But the 49ers this year, teams the week after they play the 49ers this year are like 1-12.
Wow. Because the 49ers beat you up. They're physical.
The week after you play the Niners, you're
beat up.
1-12.
1-12. That stat is unbelievable.
That really is revealing, and it's revealing of something that's very true, which is that the 49ers are a physical football team on both sides of the ball. You know, they run it a ton with a big physical offensive line. Burford has given them a lot of beef up front. Banks as well. Brendel's he's a Pro Bowl alternate. That's how good Brendel's been. Chris Forster this week said that Jake Brendel's like a coach on the field. He's so good. They're going to be challenged today, but I just think that's so interesting. You play the 49ers, and the next week, those teams are 1-12. Or maybe I think it's either 1-11, 1-12. But Kyle Shanahan talked about it this week, and he had a little grin on his face. He loves it. They're physical on the offensive side, and they're incredibly physical on the defensive side. And you play them this week, they beat you up, and there's a lasting impact of it next week.
There really is. You watch, look at Seattle, the way that they're playing right now against Kansas City. When you think about it, like you're talking about 1-12 after you play the 49ers, it's that black and blue the next week that you're feeling it still, and you just can't recover because they get after you. 49ers, they take quarterbacks and they turn them into mush. They get after the offensive line. They running backs, they hit you, they hold guys up, and they swarm tack you. It's like bees. This team runs through the ball. They're very, very physical. And offense, you know it's a mindset. They're a team that's just going to lay on you. They're going to sit there and just lay on you for 4 quarters and say, look, if you give us an opportunity, if you keep this game close, we're going to run the ball. I don't care who we have. We're going to impose our will, and you can't stop us. And that's the big thing that I love about today's football game, Larry, because you got 2 teams that are physical. You got 2 teams that's not going to back down. You got 2 teams that's saying, look, anything you can do, I can do better. You got 2 teams that want to run the ball. You got 2 teams that want to get after on defense. You got 2 teams that think they got the best defensive front in football. You got a young gun. You got a young coach. You got a young team and the Commanders that are coming into town, and don't think that those young fellas are saying, we see you, Nicky. We see you, Warner. We want to do what you guys are doing, but we think we can do it, and we think we can do it better. And don't think Jack and those guys. This is going to be a chess match. I'm excited about what we're going to see today.
You know, it's a great point that you make because there's a lot of similarities here, even right down to the quarterbacks. You got 2, backup quarterbacks stepping in. Though I would say this for today, if you're a 49er fan, expect to see both Taylor Heineke and Carson Wentz. Wentz last played in the middle of October. He's had a finger injury, but Heineke has really, really struggled on third down. Third downs, he's got a 10.6 QBR. That's the worst in the NFL. His completion percentage low on third down, 51%. That's 31st in the NFL out of 33 qualified quarterbacks. So third down is the impact down. I think if the 49ers get a lead and get after them early here, you may see Carson Wentz.
Oh, you really?
Now, I think so. I think there's a very good chance that we see Wentz today if the Niners get out to a lead.
You don't think they play him early just to get him going? You don't think would you
I think
do
they're
that?
going to start with Heineke because Heineke's 5-2-1 and has played pretty well, and they've kind of rallied behind him. But Heineke's also struggled on third downs, and he struggled in the last couple of games. And if he gets off to a slow start, I think you may see Wentz because Wentz has got a win or 2 against the Niners in his career, going back to Philly, and then I think he won here with the Colts. The Pro Bowl: Bosa, Hufanga, Juszczyk, Kittle, Fred Warner, Trent Williams, all selected to the Pro Bowl. If that wasn't impressive enough, Jake Brendel, who didn't even have an NFL career really until this year, is an alternate, as is Robbie Gould, as is Christian McCaffrey, Ray McLeod on special teams, Deebo Samuel, who, by the way, is still hurt, not going to go today, Charvarius Ward. That's one of the big questions. Is Ward going to go today? He is an alternate, and Mitch Wishnowsky. So they had 7 alternates and 6 Pro Bowlers, 13 in all. Give me your quick thought on that. Niners have, to me, I think Eagles had the most in the league.
Yeah, I think the Niners. Eagles, the way they play, I can understand that. But it goes to show you, when you win, you get in. And you got Nicky Bosa, you look at Fred Warner, you look at some of the guys that's on that list, you're like, man, you say, okay, wow. What about Hines 57? You see the way that he's been playing, you know he's probably disappointed if he's not on that list because he plays pretty well too. So you look at the Niners, they got 7 and 7 alternates. It's like, man, they could have had more. So when you think about the Niners, you just think about the team itself and where they're at. And Armstead, if he's healthy all year, what else could have possibly happened? This is great. Says a lot about just the Niners, the organization. Says a lot about the players, the guys that are out there playing. You know, McCaffrey, I think they should have a designated, called the Swiss Army knife, and McCaffrey gets in. Because I think McCaffrey, when you got a guy that could do what he can do, running the ball and catching the ball, they need to create another position. I don't know how do you call it, bro, because what he brings to the table in the receiving game and how he runs the ball it's just amazing.
Yeah, McCaffrey to not get in as a starter was surprising, but there's a lot of talented players. The one, though, that is just outrageous, no Dre Greenlaw. That's not even an alternate. Dre Greenlaw has just been a
57,
menace.
baby, 57.
He has been a menace.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling him Canton because, the guy is awesome. He really is. He's now had either a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, or an interception in 5 straight football games.
Let me tell you something. And
he's piled up, double-digit tackles almost every game.
Yeah,
most of them solo.
And here's the thing: I can say this, and and Fred Warner, we know, is a great linebacker. He's so smart, instinctive. I love the guy. I wish I could have been playing against him. I wish I could have played against Greenlaw. Because Greenlaw, to me, is he's one of a thumper. He's more of the physical, Fred is just he's smart, going to be around the ball. He knows where to go, takes the right angle. It's, to me, if you look at it, who's played bigger? You think about, and even though Fred made it, if you're Greenlaw, you look and say, hey, big bro, I'm glad you made it, but you got to look at Greenlaw like you're saying, like 57, Heinz 57, and say, look, man, when you want that good burger, you put on that ketchup. When you want some fries, you got to put that Heinz 57. I've been that guy, so you know what I'm saying? So I love him, man. I love him. So, yeah, without a doubt, he's got snubbed.
Oh, man, Dre Greenlaw runs 4.5. He's got great instincts. He flies around in coverage. He will starch you.
Yes.
He will knock the snot out of your nose. This guy is the real deal. And I talked to him a couple weeks ago. I'm like, man, you love hitting people, don't you? He's like, I do.
Oh, I wish I
do. Oh, I love hitting people.
I love the guy.
I love him as well, man. He's great.
How you think he got me fired up? Like, how you think, old boy? You don't remember me back in the day. How you think we line up again? If I look across him, you over there, you're a scout. We watch little 9 on 7. You a scout, and you're like, okay, and you could call the play, and you over a scout. You got your notebook. They run and draw, and Neal and Greenlaw. What would you do, Larry? Would you be sitting there watching that, Larry? What you thinking, Larry?
Man,
little Larry, you got me fired up now.
I scouted low Neal. I remember seeing you do the full splits. Yeah. What year did you did the splits for somebody?
Yeah, back in the day, I was college. I was flexible.
You were flexible.
Oh yeah, I love guys like that. Those are those guys that brought it out of me.
When I saw you do the splits, and I seriously, because I watched you at Fresno State, right, and I was like, this guy's unbelievable. Because what'd you play? You played 240 in the pros,
but college,
225, 230.
Yeah, yep.
But full splits.
Yes.
You had
a wrestler. It's had to be flexible. Wrestling out there with those wrestling heavyweight.
And that flex, you obviously lose some of that as your career goes on. You're not doing splits 10 years in the league.
No. Lost that.
But that told me this guy's a major athlete. That you weren't. There's some guys who are great at football and they're not great athletes.
Right. Agreed.
But you probably could have gone somewhere more prestigious than Fresno State if you'd wanted to.
No question. But Fresno was one of those schools going to let me do both sports. Going to let me go both. Because a lot of colleges, Oklahoma and all these schools that I could have went to.
Football only.
They said no, you're not going to wrestle. Coach Jim Sweeney, rest in peace. Jim Sweeney said, hey, look, you can wrestle too. You come here. Hey, look, come here.
Hey, man.
Hey, you're from Lemoore. You want to wrestle? Get over here.
The wrestling background does great things for your leverage. Does great things for your joints, for your strength building, and it's probably the reason that you played 16 years.
No question. The mental attitude, wrestling brought the mental for me. Just you going in there and you're like, okay, it's just me and another individual, Larry. You can't blame it on the quarterback. You can't blame it on the tackle. Someone missing a block. You get in there on a double leg and you shake hands with another man and he shakes your hand and you feel the power and you guys start tying up. He's trying to throw you, trying to pin you, and you guys are going at it, and it's just physicality and you're tired. You're on fire. And it's like, who's going to break? Who's going to blink? He's staring at you, looking for a move. He's getting you up in there, underhooking you, trying to pick you up and put you up, take you off the ground. He's like, no, I belong on the ground. Let me take you. So, Larry, yeah, wrestling helped me tremendously.
Well, one guy who's helped us tremendously is the great John Dickinson. You see how
JD?
Did you see the segue there? Did you see how I did that?
That was smooth.
There's other radio veteran right there.
You always bring me back, Larry. Every time I go off the rails, you're like, no, let me steer this thing back. No, come back over here. I got you.
JD's going to join us next. Boots on the ground from Levi's Stadium. We're inching closer to the Niners and the Commanders. It's Christmas Eve day. People gathering. Should be perfect weather. It is freezing around the country, but it is beautiful here in Northern California. And we're going to have a hell of a football game tonight. 49ers 6.5-point favorites. We'll get JD's thoughts on it next on 95.7 The Game.
Television sales on Black Friday set new records as millions of Americans snapped up the hot deals. But a lot of people were out of town or too busy to take advantage of the special pricing. So, how about a redo? Right now, you've got a second chance to save big on many of the top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs. Where? At Video Only, where the smart shoppers go. So, don't miss out. Check out Video Only now, or
you'll be sorry.
At Harris Ranch, we do beef, just like we've done for over 50 years. Beef that's raised locally right here in California. The flavor you crave, the quality you trust time after delicious time. Harris Ranch, we do beef.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum 2022 tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2022.
What's up, San Francisco? If you're a fan of the team, which I'm sure you are, you've been following Christian McCaffrey light up the competition. This season, Christian will be hydrating himself with Body Armor sports drinks. It has potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. In fact, Body Armor has 820 milligrams of electrolytes per 16-ounce serving. Body Armor is the sports drink of choice for Christian McCaffrey. It's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor sports drink. Available at your local Safeway.
Streaming on Peacock.
Fellas, I'm getting married.
From the creator of The Best Man and The Best Man Holiday.
Come with us to Quinn's wedding. Guaranteed to put a smile on your face.
And executive producer of Insecure.
They want to make unfinished business into a movie.
That book caused a lot of drama. Get your popcorn ready.
Bring me up higher, love.
Movie just like old times, only better. The Best Man, The Final Chapters. A new limited series. Streaming now. Only on Peacock.
Let's get lit!
The final days of Winterfest are here at Lowe's. Save now before they're gone. Need a few last-minute gifts that are perfect for the DIYers on your list? And maybe even a few for yourself? Get up to 50% off select tools, accessories, and smart home products from the top brands you love. Shop these savings and more during Winterfest only at Lowe's. Valid through 12/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Avoid giving useless knickknacks this holiday season and look for durable items that will last for years. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Uncle, Kate's gonna leave me, and I need your advice.
What's the problem, John?
She thinks I'm cheating on her, but I'm not. It's just that I have ED now, and I don't know why.
Don't worry. The same thing happened to me. All men lose testosterone with age, and this can cause ED. I went to Balanced Medical Solutions, and they helped me rebalance my hormones. Now your aunt is happy again, and I lost weight, too.
Thank you. I'm gonna call them today.
Guys, stop suffering. Call Balanced Medical Solutions now at 510-679-3300 or visit balancedmedicalsolutions.com.
'Twas almost the holidays and all over the state, not a creature was stirring, except for, well, Nate. He was panicked, in need of a really good gift. Nate's a procrastinator, if you catch my drift. So off he dashed to the closest store, and there found holiday scratchers galore. Now Nate won't get a lump of coal, unless he burns the holiday casserole. Yes, scratchers from the California Lottery are great, especially for Mr. Procrastinate. So when it's time to get your gift shopping out of the way, try scratchers. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase player claim.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Now back to the Kickoff Show with Larry Kreuger and Lorenzo Neal on 95.7 The Game. Sponsored by Jim Beam Bourbon Whiskey. Taste the world's #1 bourbon. And by Harris Ranch Beef. Legendary beef, legendary quality.
Larry Kreuger and Lo Neal here at the Santa Clara Hilton, getting ready for Niner football, having a great time. I hope happy holidays to everybody. It is about to be Christmas Eve, Christmas Day around the corner, people gathering, rushing around, getting those last-second gifts. And we're going to connect right here with JD, John Dickinson, who's, as we say, boots on the ground over at Levi's Stadium, where the 49ers take on the Commanders tonight. JD, good to talk to you, and happy holidays, man.
Yeah, happy holidays to you guys. Good to be with you, and big opportunity for the 49ers today, potentially looking at the scoreboard right now, and the Vikings down at home to the Giants. The Niners today could be the day maybe they put a hold on the 2 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, the lowest the Niners can fall is the 3 seed. They can actually technically get the 1 seed if they won out and the Eagles lost out. Likely not to happen, but the 2 seed is definitely the carrot that's dangling. That being said, what's the status on a couple of key guys here? Charvarius Ward has had a tremendous year. In fact, D'Amico Ryans talked about how he's locked up guys, all year. He was great against DK Metcalf. He'd be great today against scary Terry McLaurin. Is Charvarius going to go?
Yeah, active today for Charvarius Ward. The Niners are going to be without Kerry Hyder in this one. On the defensive line, but the good news obviously is they will get Javon Kinlaw back on the defensive line. But yeah, Charvarius Ward through the protocol and not among the inactive, so good to go for this one. And we'll see, because the Commanders are an interesting team, right? A team that wants to run some more, but they do have some pretty good wide receivers that need to be accounted for between McLaren and Samuel, and even Dotson in the slot is pretty good. So it's kind of a unique team, right? A defensive line, defensive-oriented, run-game-oriented team, but they do have some players at the skill spot that can stretch the field and come up with some big-time conversions.
JD, when you're looking at this Washington Commander team, and let's talk about the front four that they have and what they're able to do, do you see them giving the Niners a serious problem today? And how do you think the Niners' offensive line holds up against this front four?
Yeah, to me, that's the biggest test I think that the 49ers have had and that Brock Purdy has had as far as that defensive line with Jonathan Allen and Payne and Sweat on the edge and now Chase Young coming back and being in the fold off of the ACL. So, yeah, this is, I think, the greatest test that the offensive line has had. I think it's the greatest test that Brock Purdy's had in his short time, and I think it's going to be interesting. How do the 49ers counter that? Can they protect, or do they look to maybe try and run the ball a little bit, run it a little bit more to the outside and try and just get those guys in positions where they have to tackle and keep them off being able to just rush the passer free. So great test for the Niners. I think this is an interesting game because it could be an opponent in the playoffs for the Niners in the first round. So this is one of those where you file away. Does Washington become a team that starts to look like a tough matchup if you could see them again as far as holding the Niners down or just doing some things that make the Niners a little uncomfortable? We know the Niners love physicality. They love the smash mouth football, and Ron Rivera coach teams typically are right in line with that, with the teams that he had in Carolina throughout the years, and I think he's trying to put his imprint on this Commanders team in a similar vein on both ends, trying to dominate at the line of scrimmage.
I think this is the third down game. This is the game. Whoever wins on third down is going to win this game. Niners, if they terrorize Heineke on third down, they're going to win. If Purdy can handle the incredible D-line that the Commanders possess on third down, I think the Niners win. But, JD, I got to get your thoughts on, we talk so much about Kyle Shanahan. It's almost like John Lynch kind of gets left out. The Niners had 13 Pro Bowlers, 6 starters, 7 alternates. That's damn good. These guys are all day 3 picks. Day 3 picks, Lo. Dre Greenlaw should have made the Pro Bowl. Juwan Jennings, man, in a big third down, you want Juwan Jennings. Elijah Mitchell, Hufanga did make the Pro Bowl. Lenore is a starter at corner and playing better every week. Burford's a starter at right guard. Sam Womack's going to play a key role today. Brock Purdy. These are all day 3 picks in the 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022 drafts. John Lynch deserves his. Him and Howie Roseman, I think, are up for Executive of the Year in my mind, and it probably goes to Roseman. But man, in my opinion, John Lynch needs a lot more credit for how much talent Kyle Shanahan really has.
I'm with you, and I think the only reason that it hasn't been more out there and at the forefront is because the top end picks have not hit at the level that the back end picks have, and all the guys you mentioned, and then you even factor in Brock Purdy in the way. I mean, it's pretty on brand for the Niners when you think about it to have Brock Purdy, suddenly, even as the last player picked in the draft, look like the most competent quarterback that the 49ers have. I mean, it really is in line. Like, you take a guy number 3 overall, and maybe he ain't it, but then you take a guy at the back end. I mean, it's consistent with the other positions where the 49ers have had a lot of success doing that.
JD, today, if the Niners end up with 70 yards or less rushing, defense has a turnover but no pick six, but the even on turnover battle, and Brock Purdy has to throw the ball 40 times, who wins?
I think the Niners can win, but I think that's the template for the Commanders to win. That's the way they want this game to look. I think the Niners can win this game with their defense and keeping Washington out of the end zone. I feel like this is a game that if the Niners need to win it 17-13, they can. If they need to win it 13-6, they can. But it's not ideal, and I think, Lo, you lay out the way that Washington wants this thing to look, and I think they'd be the first team to really force Brock Purdy into an uncomfortable position to where he has to be the guy that wins the game with his arm, and I think they'd love to have that and be able to pin it back with Sweat coming off the edge and Chase Young and trying to take advantage of the 49ers offensive line in those type of situations. But I think the Niners are comfortable that they can win in any way, and I think today is one of those games where I agree with you, Larry, when you mentioned third down, but I also think today's the kind of game where if you have to win it on defense, you win it on defense. You just find a way to do it, and the matchups, I think, Commanders, there's some rumors and reports they might go away from Heineke today if he isn't good and go to Carson Wentz. I mean, they're I think borderline could have the potential to really struggle offensively if the 49ers defense plays the way that we've seen them play here, and that could be enough to win the game almost single-handedly.
pour out a 40 ounce and fill it up with weed and just chew on that for the entire day. Like, whatever you need to do to feel better about life and how you view life and all that stuff, I'm all about it. You won back-to-back MVPs, good for you. But he's crazy when he's trying to sell you on the Packers' chances of going to the playoffs. It's over, dude. It's been over for weeks. The Packers aren't going to the playoffs. I know Packer fans who are very sensitive. You're going to get upset about that and say, what do you mean? We always go to the playoffs. Well, yeah, cool. You always go to the play. That's cool. Good for you. Good for you. I always pick games in the NFL, and most of the time I lose. You're going to know what that's like this week because you're going to lose to the Miami Dolphins. I like the Dolphins at home. I think it's a bounce-back performance for Tua and company. They're just a better football team. I'm glad Aaron Rodgers has found happiness and found peace after doing whatever drug he did in the offseason. That's awesome. Unfortunately, the playoffs are not in sight for the Packers. Don't buy into it. Give me the Dolphins at home.
Broncos at Rams.
Why are the Denver Broncos favored in this game? Seriously. Like, the Denver Broncos are favored at the Rams, and Denver stinks. They're 1-6 at home, or 1-6 on the road.